What's going on, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages? Welcome to today's installment of Renegades Reviews. I am the Renegade J.J. Williams, here to bring you my thoughts on yet another Christmas movie. Today we are going to talk about the sequel to yesterday's program. That would be the Santa Clause 2, released November 1st, 2002. Scott Calvin has been a humble Santa Claus for nearly 10 years. But it might come to an end if he doesn't find a Mrs. Claus. That's right, the unofficial subtitle for this one is The Mrs. Claus. Apparently Curtis, the teenage keeper of the handbook elf, played by Spencer Breslin, new to the series in this movie, discovers that not only is there the initial Claus of the one who puts on the suit, takes up the responsibilities of Santa Claus, but apparently there's another suit, another clause, where Santa must be married by Christmas Eve, apparently 10 years later, even though I believe the film is set 8 years later, but where Santa must be married by Christmas Eve or he forfeits all rights and privileges of Santa Claus. The sequel brought back pretty much the entire principal cast. Tim Allen returned as Scott, Eric Lloyd returned as Charlie, Wendy Crewson and Judge Reinhold returned as Laura and Neil, David Krumholtz returned as Bernard, but then we also got introduced to Elizabeth Mitchell as Principal Carol Newman, Charlie's high school principal, Liliana Mummy as Lucy Miller, Spencer Breslin, as I already mentioned, as Curtis, Aisha Tyler, Peter Boyle, Jay Thomas, Kevin Pollak, Art LaFleur, and Michael Dorn all joined the cast as legendary figures Mother Nature, Father Time, the Easter Bunny, Cupid, the Tooth Fairy, and Sandman, all respectively. Although this is a good movie on its own, I feel that it is the inferior installment in the trilogy. If I have to rank my trilogy, this is the last one, unfortunately. It falls victim to the wasn't really a necessary sequel, so it definitely lacks a lot of the original. And the Santa Clause 3, which I will discuss more in detail tomorrow, I feel surpasses this as a sequel. The general story is that Charlie ends up on the naughty list because him and Principal Newman have this rivalry. Charlie severely dislikes his principal, as most high school kids do. Charlie gets busted painting graffiti on the high school gymnasium, which is what kind of starts the whole series of events going. It's how Scott is introduced or reintroduced to Carol in the first place. And over time, Scott starts to fall for Carol, and in true Disney fashion, they fall in love and get married in less than a month, realistically speaking, storyline-wise. She ends up becoming the Mrs. Claus. She goes on. Some of you who are Once Upon a Time fans may remember her as the Snow Queen in Season 4 when they were doing the Frozen stuff. We had Anna, we had Elsa, and then we had the Snow Queen, and she played the Snow Queen in that. Beverly Elliott also has a brief appearance in this movie. She plays Granny in Once Upon a Time. Just a little side note there. But like I said, as a standalone movie, this one might have been okay, but trying to put it into what became the Santa Clause franchise, I think, was a mistake. And as we often say here on Renegades Reviews, the sequel was very, very inferior to the original in this one. I still like it. I still watch it every year because I like 1, I like 3, and if you're going to watch 1 and 3, then you may as well throw 2 in the mix also and just watch all 3 of them. What do you guys think of the Santa Clause 2? Let me know. Leave your thoughts in the comment box below as always. You can tweet them to me at ROWJJ Let me know what other movies you would like for me to discuss starting January 1st once Christmas is over and we get back to more traditional reviews. Let me know what you'd like for me to discuss so we can start getting those reviews canned and movies watched so that there's no delay. And until tomorrow here on the Casa D18 Studios channel and Renegades Reviews when I wrap up the Santa Clause Trilogy with the Santa Clause 3, I am the Renegade JJ Williams, and I look forward to talking to each and every one of you once again tomorrow right here on the Casa D18 Studios channel.